What's up, Commanders fans? Before we dive into today's breaking stories, make sure to smash that like button, hit subscribe, and ring the bell so you don't miss a single update. Because today, we're talking about two major developments that could shape the season. One underdog safety turning heads at minicamp, and Terry McLaurin officially holding out. Let's break it all down. When Jeremy Chinn walked away in free agency, Commanders Nation had reason to be frustrated. Chinn resurrected his career under Dan Quinn and Joe Witt Jr. and became one of the most versatile playmakers on defense. But GM Adam Peters let him walk, unwilling to match the deal offered by the Las Vegas Raiders. So who steps up? Here's the twist. Washington may have stumbled upon Chinn's replacement by complete accident. Say hello to Robert McDaniel. He's a 6'2", 201-pound undrafted free agent from Jackson State. And during mandatory minicamp, he's quietly, but clearly, made an impression. According to Linnell Willingham of 106.7, the fan, McDaniel has been used everywhere across the secondary. They've lined him up at deep safety, in the slot, and even outside corner. He's got that Jeremy Chinn build. Out of all the undrafted guys, McDaniel and Carlin Vigers have the best chance to make the 53-man roster. Willingham, this wasn't expected, but that's what makes it so exciting. Robert McDaniel flew under the radar during the draft. Most teams didn't even bother calling. But Adam Peters saw something, and now the Commanders coaching staff is experimenting, trying him out across multiple positions. The comparisons to Chinn aren't just about size. McDaniel is long, physical, and rangy. He may not be as refined yet, but that's where the staff believes they can mold him. Sure, it's early. Nobody's crowning him the next Chinn overnight. But if this trend continues into training camp and preseason, Washington may have no choice but to keep him on the 53. The current depth chart at safety looks like this. Will Harris and Quan Martin as likely starters, Percy Butler, Jeremy Reeves, and Tyler Owens providing depth. But here comes Robert McDaniel, fearless, flexible, and hungry. If he shines during joint practices and game reps in August, he could easily leapfrog into a key rotational role. Remember, Jeremy. Chinn was a second-round pick who was also doubted before Dan Quinn unlocked his true potential. Washington may have just found another gem, for free. Let's pivot to the offense, because a much bigger name is in the headlines now, and for all the wrong reasons. Terry McLaurin is officially holding out. The star wide receiver did not report to mandatory minicamp this week. He wants a new contract as he enters the final year of his current deal. Here's what Dan Quinn had to say. Sometimes football and business intersect. This is one of those times. Terry is a fantastic teammate. Dan Quinn. It's hard to disagree. McLaurin has been the heart and soul of this team through multiple coaching staffs, quarterback carousels, and front office changes. But now, things just got real. If you're a longtime Washington fan, you know holdouts are nothing new. In 1980, John Riggins missed an entire season over a pay dispute and lost in arbitration. After winning the Super Bowl in 1991, players like Markey, Ripien Jimlecki, and Darrell Green all held out, with varying results. In 2019, Trent Williams held out for almost the whole season due to a medical dispute before being traded. Most of these cases ended in compromise, but rarely without drama. Could McLaurin follow a similar path? Here's the thing. Adam Peters comes from San Francisco, a front office known for waiting until late July or early August to finalize extensions. We've seen it with Nick Bosa Debo, Samuel Brandon Ayuk. It's likely that Peters is using the same playbook. So, don't expect much movement during minicamp. This negotiation might drag into training camp before it's resolved. That's not necessarily bad, just part of the business. So here's the million-dollar question. Should the Commanders pay Terry McLaurin like a top 10 WR? He'll turn 30 in September. And while his production has been solid despite poor QB play, There's hesitation about giving a 25 lebis plus per year deal, especially now that Washington has Deebo Samuel Jahan Dotson, promising rookies fighting. For reps, there are also whispers, and we've covered this on Commanders HQ, that McLaurin could be used in a trade, possibly for Brandon Ayuk if Peters decides to bet younger. Year 2 for a quarterback in the NFL? That's when everything starts to click. The speed of the game slows down. The locker room starts looking to you as the guy. You're no longer just the rookie. You're the leader. And for Jaden Daniels, the Washington Commanders' prized quarterback, and the face of the new era under GM Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn, this offseason has been all about growth. Not just physical, not just mental, but complete command of the offense, the huddle, and the moment. Dan Quinn didn't hold back when asked about Daniels' offseason improvement. I've always felt he had real control of things, and we work at the line of scrimmage a lot. He's really comfortable. In that, he's always been sharp on his details. But here's where Quinn went even further. What I'm seeing now is the accuracy, the footwork. His body mechanics are much tighter. I see the speed when he's on the edge. And more than anything, I see how he's taking time with the new players. That leadership, that initiative, it's just different now. This isn't coach speak. This is a head coach talking about a young quarterback who's turning into the face of a franchise. On his own terms. Let's not forget, Jaden Daniels didn't look like a rookie last season. Sure, there were ups and downs, but he stood tall in the pocket, took hits, made smart throws, and most importantly, earned instant respect from a veteran locker room. Now, with a full season under his belt and months to review film, build chemistry, and master Cliff Kingsbury's offense, Daniels is entering 2025 with something rare: clarity. He knows what the NFL demands. He knows what his teammates need. And more than anything, he knows what he's capable of. You won't see Jaden posting flashy workout videos. You won't hear him making wild predictions in interviews. That's not who he is. Instead, Daniels is spending time in the lab, working with Deebo Samuel, learning the timing of Kingsbury's motion-heavy scheme, Zach Ertz, mastering red zone, spacing Jahan Dotson, building anticipation on back shoulder throws, and even rookie WRs, helping them understand NFL-level coverages. Daniels is putting in the hours most fans never see. But Dan Quinn sees it, and his confidence is growing with every rep. Here's why year 2 is so crucial for a young quarterback, especially in Washington. The team now has a legit offensive line, anchored by Laramie Tunsil. The running back group is more explosive, with Brian Robinson and a healthy Chris Rodriguez. And with Cliff Kingsbury calling plays, Daniels is in a QB-friendly system that gives him freedom to improvise. Last year, Jaden showed he belongs. Now, he's showing that he can dominate. And guess what? That changes everything. For this team, this city, and this fan base. Right now, Daniels is on a short break before the grind starts again in mid-July at training camp. Expect the first couple weeks to be intense. More full-speed reps with the starting unit installation of red zone and 2-minute packages joint practices where Daniels will face different defensive looks. And when preseason games begin, we'll get our first real look at year 2 Jaden, in full control of the huddle, adjusting protections, diagnosing blitzes, and running the offense like a seasoned vet. Make no mistake, this is his team now. One of the biggest things you hear out of Ashburn? Daniels is leading differently. He's speaking up in meetings. He's calling out coverages pre-snap. He's staying after practice to work with rookies. This is what separates good quarterbacks from great ones. Terry McLaurin said last year that Jaden Daniels had the it factor. Now, even defensive players are echoing that sentiment, saying Daniels is tougher to read, quicker with his eyes, and more aggressive in taking deep shots. That's not just natural development. That's a star in the making. So what should Commanders fans expect from Jaden Daniels in 2025? Fewer turnovers. He understands defensive disguises now. More explosive plays. With Debo and Dotson stretching the field, the vertical game is coming alive. Leadership under pressure. Jaden has seen the chaos. Now he knows how to command it. The franchise finally has a QB who's not just exciting, but stable, smart, and completely bought into the mission. We've waited a long time for a guy like this, and it looks like Jaden's ready to deliver. So here's where you come in, Commanders Nation. Do you think Robert McDaniel can become the next Jeremy Chin and make the 53-man roster? Should Terry McLaurin be extended now, or is it time to look ahead? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. I read every single one and always respond to the Burgundy and Gold family. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and ring the bell so you stay locked in with all the breaking news, rumors, and insider scoops from Ashburn to FedEx Field. Until next time, hail to the Commanders!